Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, listen, I want to ask you a question. Do you want to know the importance of your love when it comes to your gift? Your gift has to work through this context of love. But I think we need to know how it works. Because if we don't know how it works, then I promise you, we will not be working it effectively. So let's dive into this conversation and let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? And welcome to the Focus on Greatness podcast. I am your host, Hiram Roche, also known as HR. And as always, it is truly an honor to be able to be with you, my greatness tribe. Hey, listen, we are continually progressing throughout this year, and we're getting closer and closer to the end of this year. And I believe that the conversations that we are having right now are helping us and guiding us and walking us through this journey so that we can be able to be prepared for whatever's coming ahead, so we can continue to grow, and most importantly, so that we continue to walk in our greatness. Now, we've been through this conversation coming out of Second Timothy chapter 1. We've been talking about this, and I want to continue it because I believe that the part that we'll talk about tonight is going to be something that is vitally important when we're talking about cultivating, developing, taking the time to steward our gift. If we're not stewarding our gift or working our gift through what we're going to talk about tonight, then I promise you, then our gift will not be effective. So let's go ahead and dive in Second Timothy chapter 1. We've been reading verses 6 and 7. And so we lean into verses 7, but we'll start at verses 6 just for clarity, and then we'll go from there. So in verse 6, Second Timothy chapter 1, verses 6, it says this: Wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gift of God, which is in thee by the putting on of my hands. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. I'm going to read verse 7 again and then we'll talk. For God has not given unto us or given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Now, where we're going to lean in tonight, we've already talked about the context of us not functioning in fear. And we're talking about in its fullness is really how we steward or cultivate or function through this gift that we already have. Every single one of us have a gift. We have a gift that we should be functioning through, walking through. And if you're on listening, or if you're watching this live or watching the replay and you say, listen, I don't really know what my gift is, there's a link that I have that you can be able to click in, and it'll take you through some questions and things of that nature to help you understand what your gifting is. And I believe, again, all of us have a gift. We have to recognize what that gift is, but then we have to steward that gift, cultivate that gift, grow that gift. And in the context of what we've been talking about, the reality is when we lean into talking about he has not given unto us a spirit of fear, it starts off in this verse 7, talking about the spirit of fear. But what we leaned into is that the context of fear is really is limiting us from being able to develop and grow or walk fully in the fullness of what our gift is. But then you have this other part where then it goes into, but God has given these things. God has already given us the power, the love, and the sound mind that we need to be able to walk fully in our gift. These two conversations from verses 6 and verses 7 are connected. They are tied in together. And so Paul, talking to Timothy, is informing Timothy, one, I know that you are gifted. And the reason why I know that you're gifted is because I knew you were gifted when I laid my hands on you. You were already a gift. You were already gifted. I just sealed it when I put my hands on you, or when I anointed you for walking in this assignment. But now in verses 7, he says, but listen, do not let fear limit the gift, but the way that the gift is going to work effectively is through power, is through love, and through a sound mind. So, where I want to lean into tonight is really leaning into this context of the love. Now, the power is what we talked about on last week, is really the thing that gives us the fortitude, the strength to be able to function through the gift. Now, the power or the love that we'll talk about tonight is, I believe, is also important, is more important than really, in some sense, the power is because when we talk about this word love specifically is talking about the agape, which is really the love of God, which is this love without boundaries, this love without limitation, this love without restraint. And so we'll look into later on in this conversation how that love functions, right? Because we need to understand if this love is important to our gift, then we need to get clarity on how this love functions or works properly or effectively. So this love being the love of God, the love without restraint, the love without limitations, this love is what he's saying your gift helps your gift to function. So when I talk about this context of the love of God, when he's saying here, for God has not given unto you, given unto us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love. This love, again, is without restraint. He's saying your gift needs to flow through love. I need you to hear me. I'm trying to take my time with this conversation because your gift needs to flow through love. Now, if your gift is not flowing through love, if your gift is not flowing through love, then your gift is just functioning, but it functions by other things. It functions by the praise of people. It functions if you feel good. It functions if everything is going the way you choose or the way you want it to. It functions if it's looking right. It's function if everybody agrees with your gift. If it functions if you have the money. It functions if you don't have. It doesn't function when you don't have the money. It has all of these criterias of why it will function or when it will function. That's without the love. But when we start talking about the context of being able to operate through the love, then we have to understand your gift has to function if you feel like it or not. Your gift has to function if you got it or not, if you got the money or not. Your gift is functioning. It wants to function. It wants to flow. It needs you to operate in it when you don't feel good and when you do feel good. There's a context of scripture where it says that you need to be able to be operation or functioning in season and out of season. That means when things look good and when things don't look good. But the only way that you can be able to do this is through you functioning it through the love of God. If we're not walking, if we're not functioning through its love, then we are limiting how we're going to be able to do this because we have other things that's going to dictate when I function in my gift or when I don't. Now, let me back it up and try to make it a little bit more practical. When you love something, when you love something, there is no limitation of when you would do something for it, when you would work for it. For example, as a father, there have been times where I was exhausted. Do you hear me? Tired. Just had a long day, was going through a whole lot, whatever strain, struggle that I had going through my day, it did not matter when I came home, because when I came home to my sons, whatever they needed from me, I was giving it. If they wanted to just spend time with dad, if they wanted to talk with dad, if they needed dad to run to the store and go get a gift or go get a toy or go get some food or whatever that is, it didn't matter because my love for them overrode how I felt in the moment. It doesn't it took more precedence than where my mental capacity or mental state was. It took more precedent if I was in physical pain. It did not matter because at the end of the day, my love for them pushes me beyond how I feel. In the same context, your love pushes you beyond how you feel. And if it pushes you beyond how you feel, that means your gift continues to function even when your feelings are not feeling good because you love. Now I'm saying I'm using this, I'm trying to prep it or prepare us for this dialogue, a combo. Because here's the context. This is the question that we have to ask. Is if we're talking about that we have to function through love, then we have to ask the question, do we love the gift? Because if we don't love the gift that we have, then we will try to move away from the gift. So, do you love the gift? Now, because we're the greatness tribe, we have to ask this question. Do you love the ones that the gift is for? The gift is not for you. The gift is for the ones that you're supposed to serve. Remember, greatness is our ability to be able to serve well. So if you are functioning in your greatness, that means you are serving others. So you have to be able to use your gift to be able to serve others. Do you love the ones that God has assigned you to serve? So do you love the gift? Do you love the ones that God has assigned you to serve? And here's the most important part. Do you love the one that gave you the gift? Because if I love the one that gave me the gift, then it doesn't matter when he calls it. It doesn't matter how I'm feeling. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. It doesn't matter any of those things because the gift is required by the one that gave it. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. It doesn't matter what my struggle is. It doesn't matter how I'm feeling in the moment because the ones that I am serving need this gift. And it doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. It doesn't matter the struggles that I might be facing. My gift is important and it needs to be able to operate. So here's the context. Do you love the gift? Do you love the ones that the gift is for? And again, most importantly, do you love the one that gave the gift? Now, I can say this because let's just look at an example. Jesus has a gift. One of his gifts is his life. And he went through a whole lot to give that gift. Matter of fact, scripture allows us to be able to see that there was a moment where he was tired. He was exhausted from being beaten, from carrying this heavy cross, from going through this long journey to be able to get to actually the place of where he would actually die. Like all of this process is him functioning in the gift because he was the gift. But because of his love towards us, he never stopped. There are moments where there are moments where I did not allow my love to push past how I felt. There are moments when specifically when it comes to this, there are moments where I was so exhausted emotionally, so overwhelmed mentally. There was moments where I just felt I could not handle anything extra to the point where it hindered me. It affected me from not being consistent on this podcast. It affected me. I couldn't. I felt like I could not be consistent. I could not love I did not allow my love to be able to flow. So I limited it. I shut it off. I hindered it. I allowed my fear to overshadow my love. Okay, we gonna be honest. But now, walking through this context of where we are now, I'm understanding more and more. Listen, your love for the people should override your fear. Your love for the one that gave you this gift should override how you feel. How you feel is important. Hear me. How you feel is important. Yes, you're feeling overwhelmed. I get it. You should feel, I got that. I understood. You're feeling like you're not worth something. I understand how that feels. You're feeling like, people don't value who you are. I understand how that feels. But you walking in your gift is more important. How you feel is important. It has its place. But you can't stop walking in your gift. You can't. But the way that we're able to push through, the way that we're able to walk through this is wondering or understanding this context of love. In First Corinthians, which they call this the love chapter, First Corinthians chapter 13. First Corinthians chapter 13. I'm gonna start at verses 1, but then I'm gonna kind of go down so we can be able to understand where I'm talking about tonight. First Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1, it says this: though I speak with tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity or love, I am become as a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. Basically, he's saying this: don't matter how eloquent I speak, if it's not flowing through love, it's just a bunch of noise. And he goes through verse by verse, talking about this context of, listen, if I'm flowing through this gift, these gifts, it can be prophecy, it can be me serving the poor, it can be me doing so many different variety of things. If I'm functioning through my gift, but it's not flowing or operating through love, it don't mean nothing. It's just noise. It's just work. Yeah, you accomplished something, but it was just some work. It wasn't impactful the way it should be. All right. So here's where I want us to be able to lean into um verses 7. Verse 7, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 7. I'm reading this in the Passion Translation. It says this: love is a safe place of shelter, for it never stops believing the best for others. Love never takes failure as defeat, for it never gives up. I'm going to read that last part again. Love never takes failure as defeat, for it never gives up. So if love is this place that my gift is supposed to flow through, that means no matter where I'm going, what I'm going through, no matter what is going on around me, no matter how hard it may seem, my love for the gift, my love for the people, and my love for the giver of the gift helps me not to ever quit, even when I feel like I failed, even when I feel like I'm messing up, even when I feel like I'm not good enough, even when I feel like it's not working the way I need it to. No matter what's happening, my love, this strong sense of the love of God with working within me when it comes to this gift, my love, this love says we don't stop. We're going to continue to press on. We're going to continue to work in it. We're going to continue to develop, because again, this conversation is, I need you to stir your gift up. I need you to develop your gift. I need you to work on your gift. I need you to develop your gift. But the one of the ways that you're going to develop it is you have to function it through this love, because your love will never quit. Even when it gets hard, it still won't quit. Even when you feel like it's not working, it won't quit. Your gift within you is needed, but it's needed to flow through this love, because I don't need you to quit. Even when you feel like it's not working, I don't need you to quit. Stick in there. Stick in there when it comes to your gift. Continue to sharpen it. Continue to see what the different ways. Why isn't it working this way? Do I need to make adjustments? Do I need to sharpen it a little bit more? Is there a weak area within my gift that I haven't been working on? Let me continue to work on my gift, but my gift can't stop working. My gift has to work, and it has to work and flow through this context of love. So I want us to continue to develop this, continue to work on this, continue to sharpen this. Because if we're walking in our gift, which helps us to function and walk in our greatness, then we have to recognize and understand that the only way it's going to be effective is we have to flow it through the love of God, this love factor. Do you love your gift? The only way you're going to love your gift is you got to know that you got one, and you got to know what that gift is. Do you love your gift? Do you love the ones that you're serving? Do you even know who they are? You have to recognize this. This is a part of the development of your gift. And do you love the one that gave you the gift? Those contexts helps us to continue to push forward. It's not going to be easy, but your love and your gift is needed. I love you all, family. And as always, continue to be blessed. Talk to y'all next time.